Howard, have you picked up the new Letterman book yet?
No, I don't want to. I was sent a copy of it, but I read some excerpts, and it really bothered me. I thought, I've been the victim of these kind of books where somebody else writes them. If Letterman wrote it, I'd read it. But I don't know. I have to tell you, I just spit some shit out into the garbage pail. I'm trying to remember what I read. I think either the New York Post or the Daily News excerpted some of the book. And it was rather salacious, having to do with Dave and the scandal and the depression that he was in. And I know from these books that really good friends who really know you, people who know you, don't cooperate with these books. And the people who cooperate are a list of nobodies who barely probably know Letterman, who are speculating at best. And it's really almost like a hatchet job. Now, I haven't read this particular book, but it was just this one expert. But I know I was the victim of this many times in my career, where they go to a guy who maybe kind of worked at a radio station with me for a few months. And then these guys are like, Howard's a fucking dick. He went on to big success. I was down on my luck. He never helped me. He didn't bring me with him. Well, of course I didn't bring you with me. You suck. What, am I in business to go with a bunch of losers? I can't tell you how many losers still contact me and go, yeah, man, I knew you back when, man, and I'm the guy who told you to do this bit and that bit, and now you're all successful and you forgot about your friends. I'm like, I don't even fucking remember you. I don't know who you are.
Well, that's terrible, Howard, that they gave you all that and you don't even remember them.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. I can't tell you how many guys take credit for my career, and I don't remember them being in the trenches with me.
I was in there. There was just us.
And the point is, yeah, the only people would really know, Robin, Fred, Gary, the people who were surrounding me at the time. And Gary, Robin, and Fred aren't going to talk to some guy writing a book. They're going to come to me and go, do you want me to cooperate with this guy? I'm going to go, no. So you end up with these books with people who have an axe to grind. They're not the people who are loyal to you, who you've been good to. And even the people like the people you've been good to don't want to cooperate in any way. And then the guys who write these books, and again, I'm not saying this guy, I don't know this guy who wrote the Letterman book. In fact, from what I understood, the author actually interviewed Letterman for the book. But
yeah, he participated in it.
He participated in it, so it might be a very good book. So I don't want to disparage this particular guy.
Yeah, I don't think it's the only disgruntled people talk to me book.
Yeah, I don't know.
Paul Schaefer, O'Donnell, a lot of the old head writers. I mean, a lot of high-ups interviewed. For
they did? All right. Yeah. Well, maybe this book is worth reading. You know what I mean? Maybe if Letterman sanctions it and says, yeah, this is the way it all went down, then fine, I'll read it.
I think it's great.
I have it sitting on my desk. I'd like to know that that's correct.
Yeah, I think you'll love it, Howard. Just the workings of the show. And one thing I found so interesting about it, and this has got something with age, I think. They say that, Letterman kind of fell out of love with comedy. And that reminded me kind of what you said about not liking stand-ups anymore. It has to be really, really funny as you get older. Is that true?
Yes. I mean, your tastes change, and you've done so much comedy, and you've heard
so much. Yeah.
Yeah. You can burn out. If you don't constantly change. People kept Dave in that box at CBS. They forced him to keep doing that fucking top 10 list. He was done with it. He wanted to move on, and that's why the thing I like about my career is I call the shots. I don't have anybody telling me what to do. Whatever I'm doing, it's because that's what I want to be doing right now. I mean, I get shit all the time. People go, well, why don't you just have strippers in and naked women? I said, I did that for fucking 15, 20 years, and I did it to poke a fucking, to punch the fucking religious community in the eye, to punch the fucking FCC in the eye. I'm on Sirius now. I could be fucking in the studio every day if I wanted to. But I mean,
really?
What? Yeah, you could. No one here would bat an eyelash.
I don't know what we're doing here.
Exactly. And the point is, it's not the idea of sex for sex. You can find sex all over the fucking internet. You've got to constantly change up the show. You got to constantly work on what it is you find funny and what tickles you.
And I love all those people because then you get the book that's written that says Howard's changed. Well, thank God.
Yeah.
You do the show,
I do the show I want to do. I had a laugh. The new thing from the people who now hate me is, Howard changed because Marci Turk, who is the woman who runs my company, he got this woman in there, and she calls the shots on the show, and she won't let him do this and that. I go, you fucking out of your mind.
Why would you hire somebody to tell you?
I've been doing this my whole life, radio. I do what I feel like doing. Marci, you think of Marci as the general manager here. She's a general manager. She sits there and does a lot of different things and helps run the organization, all that. But when it comes to the content of the show, I don't sit and meet with her about the content of the show. I don't meet about anybody about that. It's where I want to go. Every year I sit down with the crew and I say, here's my vision for the year. This is what I want to do. I want to do this with the radio show. Let's get it done. This is how we might get it. And the people who work here behind the scenes help me get that done. You know, people want controversy. They want to hear that something weird is going on.
You've been taken over.
I've been taken over by pod people or something.
Are we going to have to whatever happened to Howard Stern podcast?
Yeah, if you like this show, it's because, let's face it, it's my vision. That's it.
And somebody on this, I'm sorry, Howard.
Marci's here to make sure Gary doesn't fall asleep while he's supposed to be working.
She has a stick. She pokes him.
You need a general manager. You need somebody in charge.
If somebody on the staff was to write a book and go behind your back later after the show was over, who do you think would do that on the staff?
Benji.
No. Benji. I don't know who would do that. I mean, listen, I am sure people talk all the time. There are a couple of what I call moles here who, they work here. Yeah. And they're busy yapping all the time about what goes on here. And, it doesn't bother me. People are entitled. This isn't I'm not Hitler. I'm not running I try to run a nice situation here. The guys who work here, the girls who work here, they're all really nice people. People are allowed to talk. They can talk to whoever the fuck they want. But the people who are loyal to me, they don't sit and talk to authors of books. And, again, on the Letterman book, scratch that one because I don't know enough about it. I just assume that it's probably some hatchet job. But if Letterman cooperated, then it probably isn't. But I know I have been the victim of people just fucking saying stuff that just isn't true. But that's what happens. People get bitter, especially around me. I'm very successful at what I do, and I'm very good at what I do. I know that. I'm not good at much, but I'm good at this. And people get furious and angry, and they want to take me down. And if there's anything fatiguing about this job, it's those fucking assholes that constantly, why not me? Why aren't I more famous? I'm funnier than Howard? Wah, wah, wah. Fuck you. Do the hard work, cunt. These little bitches. The reason you're not more successful is you're not that talented. I hate to break it to you. You weren't chosen for whatever reason. I can't tell you the string of fucking losers I've met in radio who just are so bitter. Well, I hired you, and now I'm down on my luck. Send me $50,000. You have a right. You're supposed to do that. You have to take care of each other. Well, I don't see you taking care of anybody.
I think about it sometimes, Howard. I mean, everybody, it's got to be tough. Every new person that you meet, doesn't it seem like they probably want something from you because they probably do?
Of course they do. Not everybody. Not everybody. I've met some good people, but, not everybody.
In business sometimes.
In business? Oh, you got to be so fucking smart. 80% of making it in this business is being good at business. Forget the fucking comedy. It's knowing how to work everything. You know, it's exhausting. Listen, most of my day yesterday wasn't spent on the air. It was in meetings, trying to keep shit going, keep things calm. You know?
You're doing a hell of a job.
You're damn right. Thank you.
Thanks for your time today, Hal.
Thank you.
Love you, man.
Got me all riled up now. Thanks. But, yeah, no, you know, some of these books, I can't take it. I called Robin last night. I was on fire. I was yelling and screaming about the fucking assholes.
Yeah.
And shitheads and people who I don't even know how they fucking sleep at night and all this kind of crap. And then I slept like a baby. I got done yelling.
Thank goodness.
And then I hung up the phone.
You got it all out.
And I said, "Oh, I'm exhausted." And I went upstairs. And Beth was kind enough to allow me to have sex.
Good.
Even though I was sweaty and garlicky.
Really? Where was the garlic from?
Garlic was from lunch. I took a bunch of the guys out for lunch.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, to discuss some business idea, you know, to discuss the radio show. And again, that's how the show improves. We all work as one. There's tremendous, wonderful people working here. Really great group of people. I'm not the only one making this show work.
So what was the garlic you ate? What was
Well,
that?
I took the guys over to Del Frisco's, a couple of them, and I had those garlic mashed potatoes, which I told them not to tempt me with. I ate every bit of it. It was so good. I had salmon and garlic potatoes. With that broccoli rabe, they put a lot of garlic on there, too. I love it.
That takes the broccoli, too, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know Beth was going to want to make love. Or whatever you call what I do. So we're laying in bed. We finished watching, the last episode of Girls. That show has ended now.
Oh, what a sad thing.
It was very sad. And I'm laying there, and I don't know, I was sweaty on my thighs, and our legs were wrapped around each other, which you can imagine. I looked like a praying mantis. And she said to me, "Ooh, you're very dewy." I said, "I know. I don't understand why. I'm never dewy. I'm not a sweaty guy. I'm not."
Uh-huh.
I said, "I am dewy." And she said, "And you're garlicky." I said, "I know." So I said, "What?" I said, "Maybe I thought we were on our way to having sex." I said, "Maybe you don't want to." I mean, I smelled like a vampire hunter. Why do you have so much garlic? Because maybe during the day I'm Howard the Vampire Hunter, and I have to make sure I'm covered in garlic so I can scare off the vampires. But yeah. So then she said, "No, let's do it. Let's go." It was she gave me the signal. And I got to tell you, when she told me I smelled like garlic and I was dewy, I did lose my erection. So she had to prop me up a little bit. I said, "Now my erection's gone." I was so I got upset. I was like, I don't want you to be with someone who smells like garlic and is dewy. I've never been dewy my whole life. I don't know what went on last night. It was that garlic. It got me dewy.
Garlic is bad for you.
Have you ever been dewy? It's terrible. I was like there was a dampness.
But it's after exercise or something.
I didn't do anything. But
just laying there.
Yeah.
All dewy.
My balls were like garlic knots. But then I gave her much pleasure, of course, as I always do. When I'm with any woman, Robin, as you know.
Oh, of course.
It's always a pleasant experience. And I
was thinking about you yesterday because I said to myself, it makes me crazy. I don't understand how you could be upset that all these women either rejected you or broke up with you.
That's right.
Over the years. Because look, you're with Beth and she's amazing and you love her.
That doesn't...
And if any one of those women had stuck around, maybe that wouldn't have happened.
That's right. But let me tell you something.
What?
I still have it in for those women. I don't care how good things are.